Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is part two of our interview with Pharmacist Tola Amosun. We started the interview earlier. His story is a long story, so I felt we needed to break it into two different parts. Just a recap for those that have not watched the previous part, please go back and watch. Essentially, he got into OAU to study pharmacy around 2010, 2011, and he had spent 6 years, or let's say 7 years, if we include the years of strike in OAU. It's repeated in 100 level, repeated in 200 level, repeated in 300 level, and unfortunately, the whole story ended with him being withdrawn. So we are going to be picking up our discussions from there. Please try and the link to the previous video is in the description. Please watch so that you understand where we are coming from. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget that the entire essence of this is to encourage you that no matter the challenges, you can still achieve your dreams. Your desire to get educated, as highly educated as you want, is valid, and you can still get it despite challenges. All right, so Farm Tola, let's pick up from being withdrawn from OAE Pharmacy after 6 to 7 years there. So what happened next? What was next for you? Did you just apparently you did not just sit back for you to be a pharmacist now? So what happened next after being withdrawn?
Right. So after the withdrawal, of course, the school will withdraw you and advise you to go to another department. Yes, I could easily cross to any other faculty that is science inclined or social sciences. But I knew faculty of science was not for me because of they were having their own fair share of troubles in the faculty too. I think coming from comments of students from the faculty and also I didn't want to go back there to face all that again. So I was thinking, okay, let me go to social sciences. So I had the options of psychology or economics. When the withdrawal thing happened, either faculty of science or social science were like the top of my options. I didn't want to go to faculty of science because, of course, I knew that it was a whole lot too. And I just didn't want to have anything to do with sciences again. I felt like I had a shit. What's between either psychology or economics? The parents of the opinion that I go to economics was it feels like the next thing. Economics is a very nice course. You could do a whole lot with it and all. But I just felt like if I went to economics, I would settle. I would just feel like, oh yes, I'm doing something good too. And so let me just settle for this. But I just knew that it was not what I was supposed to be doing. I knew pharmacy was what I was supposed to be doing. So I felt, no, let me go to psychology. I would not feel at home there. And so I would think of how to get myself back into the pharmacy program. So I opted for psychology.
All right. So
And
so
then
you
I was
did
there.
psychology, right?
Yes.
So what was the experience like? Like you said, you wanted to go for a course where
Uh,
you would not be comfortable. You would be pushing yourself, right, to go to exactly where you wanted to do. So what was the experience in your in psychology as a course? And how were you also trying to push yourself at the same time to get yourself back into a pharmacy program?
okay. So while I crossed to psychology, like I said, I didn't want to settle while there. And so the next phase of my challenges came. I battled depression. I
Hmm.
battled friendlessness.
Depression, right? So what other challenges did you face in psychology?
Yes, like I said before, I said the next phase of my challenges came after crossing to psychology. Because that was where I faced different episodes of depression. And I was literally very idle. Of course, I know depression would thrive in an idle environment. So I was coming from a faculty where I had 40 to 45 hours of lectures in a week
Hmm.
to a department where I barely had up to 20 hours of lectures in a week. And then another thing that I realized was that after leaving pharmacy school, I discovered I had no life outside pharmacy.
Hmm.
Most of my friends were in pharmacy. I literally didn't have any friend outside pharmacy. I
Hmm.
didn't have any other thing I was doing aside from pharmacy.
Aside
So now the
pharmacy,
pharmacy was
nothing was keeping you
we
busy.
had yes. So now the pharmacy was off the picture, there was nothing else to fall back to. So it was a whole lot. So I got really depressed, and I didn't even have friends that would come around to check on because they were busy with pharmacy. Since all my friends were in pharmacy.
Hmm.
So it was a very hard period, and for like a whole semester, I had no friends. I didn't even go to classes for about a semester until one of my lecturers in psychology called my number, asked to see me, and then told that if I don't come for lecture, they won't let me write exams. So I decided to start coming for lectures. And then I wasn't doing bad. I think psychology were awesome because it was pretty easy. And this is not me trying to downplay what
Well,
they
for
do
someone
in
coming from
psychology. No,
pharmacy, I think psychology would have been easier for you, I guess.
exactly, exactly. So it was way easier. And then, and you know, the miracle of this whole thing for me was the fact that for every single place I turned to, everybody pointed me back to the fact that I had to do pharmacy. So everybody pointed me back to the fact that no, this is where I should be, that you're supposed to be. So I met a couple of friends in psychology that even though we were all in psychology, they still kept calling me
Pharmacist.
their
Mm.
pharmacist, and they were very helpful. They encouraged me in that schools. So I was pushing for transfers to many other schools, and I got denied every single school that I tried to transfer to. Looked into several other pharmacy schools, but I got rejected in every single one of them. And so I later got admitted into a family school in one of the neighboring African countries, and I was ready to go. I don't pay the fees. Thank God I had not paid the fees. My plan was to get there first and pay the fees.
Hmm.
But thank God I had not paid the fees. My passport was set, it was all set. And then I was supposed to leave on Sunday. And I got a lot of updates from a lecturer in one faculty pharmacy who had done his due diligence, you understand, and discovered that the school was not registered with ECN. And so if I had gone, I would have just gone to waste my time and money because I wouldn't be able to practice here in Nigeria. And so I
Okay.
was left with the option of either swallowing the shame and going back to continue my program until I put in for or I just take the courage of going there and waste my money and time. And so I just called the guy, I think that's the money I was supposed to give, and told him I wasn't going again. And he asked why. I told him, oh, this and this and this was what Professor So said. And I was like, so what do you want to do? I told him I was going back to Ife. And so I
Uh,
carried my bag and went back to Ife.
all right. So all this while you did not did not abandon psychology, right? So it was in the middle of doing this psychology, you were attempting to get into other pharmacy schools in Nigeria, and the attempt to go to a neighboring African country as well to study, right? So your pharmacy was still like a
Yes,
backup
yes, ma'am.
plan all through this period. So your psychology, not
Yes,
pharmacy,
it
your
was. It
psychology,
was.
yes. All right. So, okay, so now you've gone back to psychology. So, how did you now end up getting into? Because now we are calling you pharmacist. How did you end up retracing your step back to pharmacy?
Okay, so while in psychology, I decided to take JAMB again. Miraculously, somebody came out of the blues and decided to tutor me for JAMB, for physics, chemistry that I had to take, you know. And the guy prepared me for the whole thing. And the funny is that the guy he came into the picture during this period, and immediately after the JAMB, he disappeared from me. To
Wow.
date, I don't even know his where his numbers are not going through. I don't know
Maybe
anything
he's an
about him.
angel.
But he tutored me. I took sincerely, baby. Yes, so he tutored me. I took my jam. I passed. Then I came down to the school I finished from. That's OOU, Lesson of Android. My jam. I was writing psychology exam.
Wow.
And while I was writing my
So,
professional
what
I
level
was
were
still
you
writing
in
psychology
psychology
exam.
at this time?
That was 300 level.
300 level. So, you are done
300
two
level.
because I don't normally when you cross, you do two, right? So you are done two.
Yes, yes,
So you are done 200 level. You are done 300 level two in psychology.
yes, yes.
Wow. That you
I
got
got
admission
and
into
I
Onobito
passed.
Onabanjo to study pharmacy.
Yes, exactly,
Oh, all
exactly.
right,
And then
all
I
right.
had to
That was
start there from 100.
now as a more matured student. How was your experience studying pharmacy in OOU? Was it a smoother ride now? Did you still have to have
Oh,
repeats, or it
definitely.
was you had learned so much from your past that everything was much smoother?
It was a smoother ride. It was a smoother ride. It was effortless. Though initially, in all sincerity, my first year was a bit shaky. Now, a bit shaky in the sense that I still did not know my academic standing in quotes. Like I said, I had lost every form of self-confidence.
Mm,
You understand? Fine. When I came to psychology, I got like a star boy in quotes while I was in
mm,
psychology.
mm.
I was having it easy, but this is pharmacy school. And I know that it's a different ball game from psychology. And so I was a bit shaky, but after my third level first semester, I saw my results. I was telling some of my friends, and I see no more way. You get when I saw my results, I was like, no,
You know,
no,
book.
that for months psychologically that guy, don't be afraid. And I consistently tell myself for that you can do it. And
Mm,
to God be the glory, I was able to pull through. So it was a smoother ride. It was a smoother ride. Fine with his own case too, because things were not as smooth, in every other aspect as they used to be. This time around, finances were not there the way they used to be. OOU is a way more expensive school than if a cost of living was
yeah.
higher and other things. So I had to pay for some of these things myself. So I wasn't a full-time student like I used to be in Ife. So now I had to do side hustles, do businesses here and there and other things just to augment. My parents were supporting best way they can, but of course, it can't be like it was in Easter because over here it's way more expensive. So I had to augment and all, and I was able to do all that, while still doing well in pharmacy. This is something I could not achieve while I was in Ife. So I would say all in all that it was a smoother ride and it was way easier.
Wow.
So it wasn't like the workload. I think I was working from a better understanding than I was working
Hmm.
from when I was in Ife.
So you had more or less learned your lessons, and this time around, you're older reading. You're still trying to find, augment your expenses yourself and all that. Okay, so indeed, it has been a great time interviewing and speaking with Pharmacist Tola. It's been a long journey, from 2010, and he just became a pharmacist this year, 2023. That's like 13 good years, in trying to get this pharmacy degree. But we can pick so many things also from his story. He mentioned battling with depression when he got into psychology. Of course, he was idle a lot. He didn't have friends, around him. So I think that's one of the things that we can use to that we can help us, in the sense of have the right set of friends and people around you. Get involved in profitable and good activities to keep you busy, because he mentioned these were some of the things that affected him coming from his pharmacy school where he had no life outside the pharmacy program, to psychology where their lecture hours were probably lesser, the activities lesser, no practicals and lab work up and down, those kind of things. So I think that going through such tough times, get yourselves involved in something profitable to do. Get yourself surrounded by the right kind of friends. Friends played a lot of roles. Like he mentioned, a friend he met who coached him for the next jam when he wanted to retry to take pharmacy again. And there's also the role of the mentorship of a lecturer, because he mentioned, lecturers from time to time that will call me, "Well, why are you not in class?" Mention not going for lectures at all in psychology, but the lecturer will call him, "Come to class, I'm not seeing you in class." So there's a role that mentorship plays, whether it's our place of work, whether it's at school or university, anywhere. So mentorship from people that have gone ahead is also very important. And self-confidence for someone that has failed pharmacy, you know for 6 good years or almost 7 years, coming back into the school of pharmacy. He mentioned having to encourage himself, having to talk to himself to build up his confidence, to know that, okay, I can do this. Whatever happened in OAU pharmacy is not going to happen here again for me. I can become a pharmacist and all that. So it's our plate has really been full in those past two episodes, learning lessons from the story of Pharm Tola and Mosun. We wish him all the best. Congratulations on finally being a pharmacist. Your resilience journey has indeed paid off. It has paid off, and I'm sure that it was worth it. Again, please, anyone that has a story, a story of resilience in their educational journeys, please send them my way. The email address is down in the description, or if you just mention it in the comments, I would also reach out to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, to share, to like, and also to subscribe to this channel. I hope that just like I have learned a lot, I've learned a lot as a parent, I've learned a lot as an individual, I have learned a lot also as an academic, right? Working with students. So I have learned a lot. I hope you have also learned, picked one or two lessons from Pharmacist Tola's story. Thank you so much. Please don't forget, subscribe, share, comment, and until next time. And I wish us all Merry Christmas in advance and a Happy New Year 2024. So see you all in 2024 by the grace of God. Keep ticking your goals and keep winning. Cheers. Bye.